What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Movie Talks, the only podcast you need for movie news and movie reviews and more. This is episode 96. We are bringing into you
Whoa.
some big lineups. We got House of the Dragons, episode 2, really building for that Civil War. We've got Inside Out 2, the newest Pixar one. Hopefully, Pixar have had a couple of drop-offs lately. They've need something to get them back on track. And then we've got Trigger Warning, which is the Jessica Alba's
Sure
Jennifer
is.
Lopez action debut, which was it's something.
It's
Alrighty,
something.
it's something. So
You can definitely mention Jessica Alba and Jennifer Lopez in the same sentence when it comes to this.
it's just thrown together, thrown
It's
together.
bizarre. It's really something.
And we've we've got the Union trailer, which is out now. It's Halle Berry makes a spy of childhood sweetheart Mark Wahlberg in a Netflix newest rom-com. So they're getting the newest spy rom-com outing, which will be a little bit interesting.
I forgot Halle Berry was making movies, to be honest.
I don't think she's done a movie like recently.
Right. I haven't,
No,
yeah.
no.
I can only ever see her as Catwoman. Like,
Oh,
it's,
it's true. Yeah, that was something. That was
oh,
something.
it's something. Which that's a funny
uh,
segue because I'm pretty sure that the director or the writer of Trigger Warning was also one Catwoman.
okay, there you go. You've Hugh Grant's taking his villain arc very seriously, and Hugh Grant goes bad in A24 horror from A Quiet Place writers. So
Okay,
he's been playing the bad guy lately.
sure.
Mm. He's also played
I
the
mean, yeah,
Oompa Loompa, and that was
yeah, that was nothing. That didn't really count.
that was weird.
It was real
So
strange.
mhm. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't dislike it, but I feel like it's they're starting all these bad guy characters starting to feel like the same character at the moment.
Yeah, I mean he never really had a big range.
Well,
So
it's true.
yeah,
Gone from romantic love boy to bad guy with a
yeah,
fucking he has the same face. Every bad guy he plays has the same like snarl look on his face, like.
true, true. We've got Jennifer Lawrence to star and produce a murder mystery movie called The Wives. Which
Okay.
could be interesting. Could be
Yeah, I like
interesting.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah. And Freaky Friday sequel officially starts shooting. This is the
Yeah,
Jamie
this is
Lee Curtis
wild.
and Lindsay Lohan one. Considering Lindsay Lohan has not made a very good comeback, this could be
God no.
interesting.
She's been making absolute garbage.
Right.
Yeah, look, I love Jamie Lee Curtis. She's now a fucking Oscar winner.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the other one, Lindsay Lohan, she's become a bit of a meme. So I don't know. There's there's a lot to look forward to, I think, with this. Like it's either gonna be garbage and I'm gonna hate it and it's gonna be funny, or it's gonna be somewhat decent. Well, it could also be complete garbage and I'll be mad that they tried to, because I'm often mad about people trying to cash in on old IPs.
You're mad a lot, so I feel like you're gonna be mad.
Yeah,
I'd put if I was a betting man, I'd put money on you being mad.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, yeah. That's
It's a
it.
pretty safe bet. The odds aren't
Yeah.
very high on that one.
No. It's a bit of a short week because we're filming on the Friday and
Mhm.
we did on the Sunday. So that's it for the movie news. There's nothing. This is normally a bit of a lull though. This is normally a little bit quiet on the old movie
Yeah,
front.
look, we passed some of blockbusters. We're now moving towards the production of like the Christmas movies that are coming out. But movie news I heard, not necessarily movie news, but HBO are confirmed going ahead with the Harry Potter series,
Hmm. Yeah.
um, which I think's fine. I'm curious to see more Harry Potter. I don't hate Harry Potter. I never got into the hype that everybody else did, but
I,
I
I
don't know, I did. The first few I did.
I quite liked Harry Potter. I
Mm.
like it. I like it. It's a nice story. It's a nice story. I got around it.
While that later ones came out, I was a bit over it, but
Okay.
yeah, a series, why not?
Interesting. Interesting.
Depends how slow
Yeah.
they make it. If they do like a season per book, no, that's too much.
Depends how long the season is, though. Like if it's 8 or 10 episodes, fine. There's heaps to
Eight.
cover.
If
Eight,
it's 10
eight to
episodes an
10.
hour each, because then they're stretching out a movie that went for 2 and a bit hours
Yeah, but they
to
cut
10
out
hours of
heaps, and
content.
like it was pretty quick. Like it was here.
Yeah, I guess I don't know because I don't read, but
Yeah,
yeah, I
like
guess we'll see.
the first book's pretty small, but like they get pretty big pretty quickly. The other
Hmm.
books, so
The good part of it coming on streaming services is they can tailor the episode length to whatever suits the pacing of the story. So
yeah. Yeah.
I'm not against it. I
Okay.
think it's being made by people who made one of the guys who made Shameless, people from directing of Game of Thrones, Last of Us. Um, what's that new series people are loving as well that a lot of people are on this. Like there's a good list of people making it. So,
Yeah.
people are I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful.
Okay. Okay. Well then, let's jump right into our big blockbuster right off the bat. It
Yep.
is House of the Dragons episode 2 called
Hmm.
Rhaenyra the Cruel. Bum, bum,
Yeah.
bum. I gotta say, I think it might be just a me thing, but I'm nowhere near as hyped for this show as I was for like Game of Thrones or even season 1. I don't know what it is. I think it's a bit of
Yeah.
it's a slow burn, and there was like no advertisement for it. It was a big break, and that's what I'm putting it down to. Like I'm not as excited.
I'm as excited as I was for the first season, I think, but I'm not as excited as I was for Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was a cultural phenomenon. Like everyone was talking about it. And that was part of the hype, was like you would watch it, you'd go to work, and you'd talk about it.
Okay.
Whereas no one I know watches this except for you.
No, right. So no, yeah. Well, people probably don't even know it's out. It's also not
No.
that accessible for people in Australia. Like if you don't have binge, like where are you going to watch this?
Was
Besides like,
Thrones accessible?
uh,
I mean, we all just pirated it back in the day.
true, true,
We just
but
shared it. Like I remember bringing it to work on USBs and sharing it around, and people would
yeah,
watch it over the week.
true, true. I don't know. I guess it's a little bit different. I also think prequels are going to struggle as well. Like prequels will
Yeah.
always struggle. Like if
I
I
also
think
think,
like
go on, sorry.
the snow show might do a bit better. You know, they got a couple of
Potentially.
spin-offs and stuff because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
for sure.
progressing the story and like people are like, oh, where might it go? Where this is like you've already got
Yeah,
the law, you know what's gonna
it's
happen.
true. And it's so far removed from the lore of Game of Thrones. There's no character crossover or anything.
Yeah,
I
but
also think that
some names.
how poorly Game of Thrones ended and the sour taste it left in 99% of the fans' mouths, um, people aren't that keen for this. Like my wife was huge into Game of Thrones. Like we fucking loved it. Like all of us, you know. But
You
she
did
doesn't give a
like
shit about this
watch
at all.
parties and stuff. You used to have
Yeah, yeah. To have
yeah,
people around. Uh-huh.
crazy.
Whereas yeah, she won't even watch this. She doesn't give a shit. She won't rewatch Game of Thrones, whereas I watched a couple times through.
You watched
Yeah.
it a couple of
Yeah,
times. You're
it's
wild,
good.
eh?
It's good.
Yeah, it's
Really good
wild.
television. It's fucking really well made.
Yeah. Well, it's also bizarre because I wonder if the book will live up to fans' like expectations of how the show will end because the book's not out yet.
Yeah, well, if it ever comes out.
I don't think it would ever come out. I think he's deliberately not doing it.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Like that level of hype and the expectation and like how much you have to live up to. Like it's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's fair. All right. Well, let's get into this one because
Shall.
there's ah, there's a bit to get into, but I'm also like
Hmm.
it's I find the pacing of this a little bit weird. Like there's lots
Yeah, right.
happening, but I find it really, really, really slow.
Okay.
Like
I don't agree.
yeah, I'm just saying. I'm
Yeah.
just
I think the pacing's good.
okay.
I
Okay.
don't want action scenes. I don't think it needs fucking big fight scenes with dragons flying around for it to be interesting. That was never what made Game of Thrones interesting.
Did you see some of the fight scenes? Oh,
Yeah, and they weren't the best
oh,
parts.
oh, excuse me.
Well, somewhat. I think the Battle of
The
Blackwater is one of my favorite moments in Game of Thrones. That's an action scene, I suppose.
Battle of the Bastards.
Battle of the Bastards is pretty good, but it's not the actual battle that's good in Battle of the Bastards. It's the lead up and aftermath.
I disagree. The battle's pretty good.
Battle's pretty good. It's well choreographed,
It's very
but I
good.
just think like what if I remember my favorite moments in Game of Thrones, some of them are action scenes, but I think the majority are like espionage and characters manipulating each other and sort of like the love and hate, how much you can like the Hound, how much you can hate him as a character, but then you can really love him and think he has a good heart, but then he does things that doesn't the complexity of characters, I think, is a huge part of it.
Yeah,
That's
that
why I think
helps.
they still have this in this season, this
But
show.
but the build up to the action scenes. Whew, oh, they were good. They were good.
Yeah,
No, no. Well, as Otto schemes to turn the public against her, Rhaenyra questions Damon's loyalties. Meanwhile, Sir Christian Cole cahoots a misguided plan for revenge. Boom, boom, boom.
Jim Cole's a fucking idiot. I can't get how much I fucking. It's my most hated character. He's just a little fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, he's got no idea, old mate. He's just around. So
Yeah.
this is picking up after the aftermath, obviously the big cliffhanger. No, it wasn't cliffhanger. The big ending of episode one, where the child picking the child and them being killed by the rat catchers. This is them dealing with the aftermath of that event, and Rhaenyra being accused of many things,
Hmm.
and she is either like Sherlock Holmes, kind of like clever, because she picked up exactly who it was very quickly. She was like, "Yo, I know it was you."
Yeah. Well, I mean, understandably, who's malicious enough in that room in the black what they call Black Council? Who would be malicious enough?
Yeah. Also, I really like Damon's character because I have no idea what old mate's going to do next. Like he is the epitome of like, don't let him know your next move. Like he's just off doing Damon things.
Off
And
doing
I
Damon things. Now he's just flying around. I'm pretty sure, like based on that and how he like his history as well. I reckon at this point he's off to win. Oh fuck. Sorry, Damo. I'm trying to remember what the name of the actual town this time. I don't have a town list. In the Riverland, I'm pretty sure he's off to like because when his brother was mad at him, he went and killed the crab feeder, whatever his name was, and
he was a cool thing until they revealed him.
the crab feeder. Yeah, yeah, it was cooler in Legend.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, like he went off and came back with a big grand gesture of you need me sort of thing. So I
Hmm.
think that's what he's doing now. He'd be off winning some war or some shit, but he's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Like Matt Smith's so cool.
he's so good, isn't he? I was a
Yeah.
bit when I first saw he was announced. Like I knew him as Doctor Who, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
of
cool.
course.
That's such a it's a weird transition, but he's
Mm.
great. He's so good.
Yeah, I'm not a Doctor Who fan, but I can't imagine Doctor Who acting like Damon at all.
Mhm. And like Rhaenyra gets some lines on this one. So like she obviously stole the show a little bit last episode. She gets some voice acting in this one. She does really good. I like how they've been able to put her from like
Yep.
kind of unlikable to like you like her now, and you're like
Hmm.
every scene you're like, oh, I don't know if I like you or not. But now
Hmm.
she's like, oh, I'm siding with you. And
Yep.
Allison, oh my God, I hate Allison so much.
Fucking idiot. But
But
she's like I also feel sorry for her because she's always been in this position where she can't really do much. Like she's always done what her father's told her to, or she's always done what now her son's telling her to. Like she's always been the pawn rather than the queen, you know?
Yeah, like I still don't like her. Still don't like her. Like I think that's where this show's doing really well is making you either like or dislike the characters. But like,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, and Helena. Oh God, just watching the breakdown of Helena and uh, what's his name, the king. Can't remember the names. What are the names? What's the king's name?
Aegon.
Aegon.
Aegon. And Helena's his sister wife.
Yeah, like
Hmm.
watching them, like
Poor
I,
Helena. Yeah.
yeah, but I
So
also
let's
don't.
let's give some. Do you want to give some backstory? What's happening? What we're referencing?
Sure, go.
Like, so yeah. To be quick, Otto Hightower, Alicent's father, the Hand of the King, for now. He wants to turn the death of the child from the last episode, the blood and cheese kill. He wants to make a big spectacle of it, and even if it isn't, in quotes, even if it isn't, um, Rhaenyra, we need to tell everyone that it was, more or less. So they spread the word that Rhaenyra is a monster. As you said, the name episode is what? Rhaenyra the what?
The cruel.
Rhaenyra the cruel. Yeah, she kills children. To make a big spectacle of it. And obviously, Helena wants nothing to do with that. These are her children. She loved them. Even Aegon's like, no, like that's a dumb idea. But Otto pushes it, and I can see his perspective. Like, as much as Otto's also a piece of shit, I can't stand him as a character. A lot of his decisions are pretty smart, tactical. Like he's a monster, but he's probably the one of the smarter ones. So what are you saying about Helena? You done with her, sick of her? What do you say?
I just don't feel sorry for him. Like it's weird.
Helena, I do. She's just a little mouse. Like she has nothing to do with anything. She's just a pawn. Like she has to just fucking. She's married to her brother, who's a piece of shit. He won't even like acknowledge her. She just mopes around and does little dragon dreams.
Yeah, but like, it's I just don't care about any other characters besides seeing the big war that's coming. Like I just want to see that. Like
Yeah, right.
it's almost House of the Dragon. Like it's just dragon. Like let's go.
Wow,
Like
that's
let's.
pretty clever. Where'd you
Ah,
read that?
I didn't. I've been waiting. I've been sitting on this for a week, mate.
House of the Dragon.
All right.
I don't think it's slow at all. I
Uh,
I feel like every scene is important. I'm enjoying watching characters like it's they're working and we get to see characters react to things. Like this episode was sort of what happens when a son for a son happens. And we're seeing like as you mentioned Sir Kristen Cole, like he should have been on duty keeping those kids alive, but instead he was off with Allison in her bed. And it's him like he lives with the guilt, but he also like he passed that guilt on to Eric, Eric, and takes it
yeah.
out on him and sends him on this fucking mission. Such a like what a dumb fucking move. The whole time watching, I'm like, oh, Kristen, what the fuck are you doing, man? Quick context: he goes to so there's these two twins. One of the twins is on Team Black, the other twin is on Team Green, and like it tears them apart because they grew up together. They are best of friends. They're brothers, and they've literally chosen opposite sides of this war. And Kristen Cole goes to the one that's on Team Green and was like, "You should go kill Rhaenyra, and you'll be able to do it really easily because you can pretend to be your twin." And it kind of works. And I mean, it would. It makes perfect sense. Um, but we get Massaria back. We haven't seen since season one. Massaria in season one was she was a sex worker who Damon was like in a relationship with at one
Yeah.
point, lost her aside. Uh, and then she gave the names of Blood and Cheese to Damon. And part of telling Rhaenyra that, she released her, but as Masari was walking down to be released, she noticed that one of the twins walking up, and she alerted the guard, and the twins had this big twin off, and that was a really cool scene because while you're watching it, you're like, wait, I don't know which one I'm rooting for and
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Old mate did get sliced pretty badly on the leg, and
Mm, of
was able to, whether it was adrenaline or whether it was rule of cool,
course.
they
Yeah, bit of
was
both.
able, was able to keep fighting. I did like, even though the old, I don't know which who's who.
Hmm.
Yeah, that old chestnut,
Yes.
the
Yeah,
clones or the twins, which makes
literally.
sense. I would have thought Rhaenyra would be able to like handle herself, like she rides a dragon and stuff. Like I don't know why I thought
I
she would
kind
have,
of thought she was a bit of a damsel as well.
like I would have thought she would have had some type of training, but she was just
But I
there
guess
hiding in a corner. Like I don't
a
know.
woman in her bed with no armor, no weapon versus a knight in full plate with a sword. Like, what else do you do but cower?
Yeah, but she could also like circled around, try and move to the door. She kind of just hung there.
She kind of tried moving, but yeah, no, you're not wrong. I
She
felt a
didn't.
little bit like that didn't really suit. She did. She moved from at least bed to wall, but
Yeah,
yeah, she
but
could
like,
have. She could make a run for it when they were like mid fight.
yeah, like
But
I don't know. That was bizarre. Oh well.
yeah, it's a bit. What else happened? Um,
All the rat catchers got hung.
yes, yeah, because Aegon knew that one of the rat catchers was responsible for the death of his son. He hung them all, which
Yep.
was a, I don't know, a brazen idea, but as he put it, he needs to show that he means business and I will rule with a fist. And
Yep.
I loved the scene with Otto. Again, I don't like Otto, but Otto's smart. Like normally what he does is the right thing. Not the right thing, but like the smartest thing. And yeah, the scene where he walks in and just starts yelling at Aegon. It's like, you're an idiot. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, well, I'm not Hand of the King anymore. And gives it to fucking Kristen Cole. And I can't wait to watch Sir Kristen Cole burn as Hand of the King.
He's gonna have no idea.
He's
He's
the
gonna
dumbest character in the fuck. Like, he's he's an idiot. Genuinely,
have.
he's an idiot of a character. Nothing he does is smart. And now it's a young, dumb, immature king and a not so young, but also very dumb, immature Hand of the King.
Yeah, but he only like got his rise to power because he was like a reasonable fighter and good
Hmm.
looking. So like he worked his way up through there, and then all of a sudden he
Well, he was a
was
great fighter, yeah, because he
yeah,
he beat Damon in a hand to hand.
yeah. So and
But
then
so
now he's in the king's mother's bed. I didn't know what
yes,
was her like title now. She the mother of the king?
Queen Regent, I think they call her.
Yeah. I couldn't remember what the title was. I didn't know if there was like some special title.
I think it is Regent. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's interesting that Alicent is blaming herself for a lot of this. Like she believes that her sins, sleeping with him, making him break his vows, lying, blah blah blah. She believes that those sins are what's causing, you know, all the death in her family and all that. Like she holds herself responsible. I love the scene when she's talking to Otto and she's like, "I have sinned," and he's like, "I don't want to know about it." He walks off like, "I don't care about your sins."
yeah.
Leaves.
He's playing a bigger game.
Yeah,
He's yeah. He reminds me of Littlefinger, but I feel like he's gonna be
yeah. Laris reminds me more of Littlefinger.
okay.
Laris Strong, and he had nothing to do in this episode, which is kind of lame. But
Yeah.
he'll do more later.
Oh well. I also forget that Rhaenyra's sons have like black hair, and like every other
Yeah, the
Targaryen,
Strong Boys.
yeah, and like every other
Mm,
Targaryen has like gold, whatever, like the bleach blonde hair, and no one
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, "Oh, what happened there?"
Well, they did. That's what caused a huge rift in the first. That's remember the dinner scene in the first season
Yeah,
where everyone's like,
it
"May your
caused a
boys
rip.
grow handsome and strong," and
Yeah,
everyone fucking fired up.
and everyone just leaves it though. So okay,
Well, no, they talked about it in this episode
not really.
because, yeah, Baylor and Jace, who were
Yeah,
betrothed, were
yeah.
talking about their father and did you know your father, and they were talking about him being a strong.
They said I think he still loved us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what do you mean they don't talk about it? They literally talked about it.
fine. It's fine. It's fine. Not excited. Like as soon as I saw Damon's
I'm
dragon
loving it.
and him walk out on top of the
Oh,
dragon, I was like, oh, we're in here.
fuck. We just enjoy things so differently.
I know. I know. Like I'd settle for like half and half. Show me some more dragons, show me a little bit like something happening. And then give me those dialogue scenes. Just give me something to reel me back in. I'm like ready to go and there's nothing happening. Nothing happened.
No, I cannot get behind that idea at all.
Well, I think you're going to have to because there's going to be a big civil war, and I'm sure it's going to take up multiple episodes. And you're going to be like, I hate these
Yeah,
episodes.
that's fine. But the idea that every episode is poorly paced unless there are dragons fighting is the most meat-headed wrong idea about this show.
Excuse me, they are Targaryens. Their whole thing is about dragons, and I've barely seen dragons.
Ugh.
Am I
The
wrong?
House of the Dragon. They're not. It's not. Go watch
No,
fucking Aragon or some
no,
bullshit.
no. Targaryens are all about dragons. Their whole lineage was based on them being able to ride dragons and like based
Yes.
around dragons. Show me how they keep the dragons. Show me their bonding with the dragon. How do they learn to fly on the
How boring
dragons?
would that be if all they did
Excuse
was
me.
bond with dragons the entire show?
I didn't
Where's the
say that.
manipulation
I
and
didn't say the entire show, did I? I just want
you
to
reckon every
see
second scene needs to be someone feeding a dragon and making friends?
how did they learn how to fly a dragon?
They didn't
How
need to.
did they do? How do they fly a dragon?
It's in their
How would you?
blood.
No, no, no. Then you just said, well, they're not about all dragons. They are the House of the Dragons. They're about flying dragons.
Magic. They
There's not
literally use
magic.
blood magic to fuse their
No,
blood with dragons.
no,
Yes, they did. It's magic.
it's not just magic. Can they talk to them in their minds?
Yeah, more or less, it's magic.
You can't just put that under the banner of magic.
Yeah, well, they have. It is blood magic. That's how they ride dragons,
Yeah,
and no
but
other family can.
where though? Where's the power stop? And how far does it go?
Suppose it isn't explored, but I don't
Thank
think it
you.
needs to
I
be.
think it does. I think it does.
All right.
Give me
Well,
more.
hopefully get your spin-off show one day, and they go really far back where they do the blood magic, and you get to see them practice their dragon riding. I don't know.
I'll do that.
Go watch How to Train Your Dragon and pretend it's fucking Rhaenyra.
No, I like how you train a dragon. I'm gonna,
Yeah, it's great.
yeah, yeah. You take that
I'm not
back.
saying there's anything wrong with it.
More
No, I said go
dragons.
watch it. I said if you want to watch people learn how to ride dragons, go watch How to Train a Dragon.
Yeah, but I want to see how these guys do it.
Sure.
Mm, mm.
Go
How do
watch
they know?
Aragon.
How
Go
do they
watch
know
what
how
else
to
is there?
fight in the air?
I don't know, man.
Like when people
Pretty
ride
sure the dragon does a
horses,
lot of it.
they kick their heels and it goes. Like, what do they do? How do they get these? How do they get the dragons? They like pat it on the side and like fire. What do they? Do they have a word? But like
Well,
when
yeah,
it,
right. Remember, what's the name? Used to use Dracarys.
yeah, but like if you're on the top of the dragon, right, and you're flying, I'm assuming it's quite a high velocity that they have to be traveling. That's a lot of
Hmm.
wind that's coming at you.
It's
I'm
very
not,
true. I
I'm
was
not
thinking that
sure how
when
they're
I
gonna.
saw Damon fly off.
Yeah, like how they're gonna hear
Hmm.
that. Also, why do they not wear goggles? I feel like their eyes would be like taking a
Yeah, you're
lot
not
of
wrong about
air in
that.
it. Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
they get there and the eyes be fucking red as and
They'd be
full of
like,
bugs and shit.
yeah, like surely they
Yeah,
got
yeah.
some. See,
Had their hair be blown back.
these
I
things need
know.
to be explored.
Yep. But
Mm.
magic, full stop.
Nope. Nope.
A lot of it's just magic, full stop. I don't know
No.
what
Okay.
to tell you.
Well then. Well then. Hmm.
Good show. Good episode. I really liked it. I liked it more than the first.
What would you give it?
Um, I'm super into it. Like a 4.5. I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm
Look,
down bad. It's a great
no,
show.
I'm still around it. I was thinking about dragons more than anything,
I can
and
tell.
it's a three. It's a three. I'm still here.
Sure.
Still here. Yeah. All right, let's move on to Pixar's newest one, which is out now. It is
Hmm.
Inside Out. So you make room for new emotions. Bom, bom, bom. So we are following Riley in her teenage years, encountering new emotions. So I wasn't that big a fan of the first one. Like it was good. And I just
Didn't love it.
yeah, like it was a cool idea. I just didn't really resonate with me. So we watched
Yeah,
the
I
second one.
mean,
We watched the second one. Mm.
I like the first. I think it was one of the better new fucking Pixar films.
I didn't have an issue with it. I just was like, oh, okay. Like it was something. Like it was good. I didn't care that much. Where
Okay.
this
I
one,
gave the original, sorry,
mm,
I gave the original 3.5.
what did
Like
I
I
give it?
liked it. I don't know. We didn't watch it. We didn't watch it on pod. I have it on my letterbox.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was like, what? I didn't think we watched it, but that's fine.
No, it was back in 2015.
Oh,
9 years
okay.
old.
Yeah, right. Well then. So we are following Riley. Riley is obviously going through her teenage years. She is a really good hockey player. I was about to say
Mm,
soccer. I don't know why. She's an ice hockey player that is going to a camp, which I'd still find these camp things really interesting. America's sporting world
yeah, America's weird, hey.
is so interesting. Like it's so
Mm,
foreign to our experience. Like unless you're playing like school, college, professional, there's like nothing
yeah.
besides like pickup games. It's so bizarre. So bizarre. There's no like organized sport, which is weird. But anyway,
Yeah, I don't really understand how it works, but
yeah. So we're following
you know.
Riley anyway. Riley is invited to this hockey camp, and it's her navigating her way through many different changes. We're assuming that she's going through some puberty because there's some like body odor and stuff that is
Not
gets
an assumption. There's actually an alarm that goes off called the puberty alarm.
yeah, well, okay. Well, she's gone through puberty. Look, I watched that earlier in the week, so
I
we're at
watched it
Friday.
today,
Okay,
like
well,
literally finished it and came onto pod.
there you go. So we're following Riley. She's going through puberty. She is trying to navigate her way through some friendships. So her friends get invited to play for a different high school. So there's emotions that are coming into there. We are present with our original emotions, which is joy, who's our like head honcho, the person that
Yep,
runs it all, anger,
yep.
sadness, and
Disgust and fear.
disgust and fear. Yeah. So
Yep.
yeah, so they're our main ones. They're all got things kicking along. There's a few little glitches in the system. As we follow along with Riley going into this camp, we get presented with our new emotions. One is anxiety,
Hmm.
embarrassment,
Yep.
sarcasm.
Nope.
Nope. What was she?
Envy.
Was it envy? Who was the one that's on the
Envy.
phone? The one that's
Ennui.
bluey purple one.
Ennui, which is
Excuse me.
like boredom. It's called ennui.
Ennui. I thought she was like sarcasm because
Yeah, I
like
mean,
she
she.
lit she comes
I guess
on
where
like
sarcasm
in
comes
that
from.
in that moment it was like I've been waiting this whole time and then was like about the band. I was like, are you just sarcasm?
No, that yeah, I can understand how that happened, but no. I guess because ennui is like boredom, complacentness, like to be unfazed by things. Not so much stoic, but more like, eh. Um, it's like when you talk to a teenager and you're like, "How's your day?" and they're like, "Yeah, it's fine." Like that's
Yeah.
ennui.
Okay. Uh,
Ennui. How
that's
it's
an actual
spelled.
that's the thing.
That's the thing.
Hmm.
You can look it up.
Hmm.
Do we send you a
Hmm.
link?
Nope. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the one emotion that I didn't think needed to be in there. I feel like there's a couple times it was a joke, but it was the one. It was the one character I was like, you don't need to be here at all. Envy to a degree as well, but Envy was fine.
Yeah.
Um, whereas I think embarrassment and especially anxiety were very important for the story here. This one.
Hmm. Yep. So as we follow along, we obviously get the two different cuts. So we get to see what Riley's experiencing, what she's going through, and then we cut to the internal, so we get to see the emotions that are all flaring along. Obviously, if you've
Hmm.
seen the first movie, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
So Riley is going through this camp and is dealing with the friendship sort of choices that they're moving off to a different place. She has to then pick between being accepted into the Red Hawks, which are the team, the hockey team to be in, like the popular one. She gets
I think they're the
by
Firehawks, but
Hawks, Red
yeah,
Hawks. Yeah, whatever. They're red. They're red.
red is fire is red. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Close.
it's also funny that anxiety is voiced by Maya Hawke.
Is it?
Yeah,
Why is that funny?
yeah, because the name's Hawk. Red
Oh, okay,
Hawks,
okay.
Fire
That's it.
Hawks, Maya Hawks.
Okay, sure, sure. It's more ironic than anything.
Yeah,
Hmm, hmm,
ennui.
hmm. But anyway,
Hmm.
we we are getting to see that Riley has many, many things to try and navigate, and we are seeing
Yeah.
the ramifications that are happening. So obviously, during this time, anxiety is running rampant and is
Yeah.
taking over, and is the catalyst to many, many things that happen internally and also externally as well.
Hmm.
So I quite liked anxiety. I thought they were a very captivating emotion to be showing on
Absolutely.
screen. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I have a lot to say about anxiety and the way the character behaves and the way it's depicted. In this story, anxiety is almost like the antagonist. Um, through anxiety's actions, our OG emotions become like suppressed,
Mhm.
as they put it, and they try to get put in like jail. They break out and they go, yeah, there's a whole thing, but of course, but um, yeah, it's very much. I think anxiety is a really interesting way of telling the story because it could have just been about like because a lot of it is like a lot of it was talking about is like identity and attachment theory. Um, and they could have just focused on like how someone identifies and how because growing up you sort of you start to walk away from when you're a kid you just believe what your parents believe and then you become a teenager and you start to form your own beliefs and you start to form a bit of who you are. And I think they could have just focused on that and it just been about our core five characters. But I think having anxiety in there played a huge part. Not that everyone has anxiety, but to a degree everyone does. It just boils differently.
Mhm.
Um, because yeah, again, like the whole message of the first movie, there's no good and bad emotions. It's just about how they play together and which one you sort of let take hold.
Yeah.
Um,
There was also a little bit of a weird, I don't know if it was like intentional or if it was like it was just kind of seen as it was like growing up, where there was like you experience less joy. I was like, whoa, like what's going on
yeah,
here? I was like, is this meant to be this deep, or it was just like meant to have a bit of a journey that this character needs to go on, so we need to remove some joy. Like I was like, oh,
yeah.
that was a bit weird.
There was a bit of message lost when anxiety takes over and our character feels zero joy. Like you can still feel joy when you're anxious or when you are, you know, when anxiety is at the helm. But it's still a movie, and we still have we had to send our core five away, otherwise, things just get solved too quickly. So I had to have a MacGuffin disappear and go chase the MacGuffin and bring it back home, whatever.
Yep.
Um, all that was fine. That's probably the one part I was like, about because as soon as the fucking little ball of self identity disappeared, I was like, oh, okay, there goes the MacGuffin. Like that's what they have to go find now,
Yep.
and they get sent off as well, and then bring it back, and
Yep.
that's the one part that's like, eh. But yeah, I think the way that anxiety is depicted is fucking brilliant. Like I got emotional at the end because when she has an anxiety attack and no other emotions are allowed to get close to the control panel. You can't even touch a control panel because anxiety is just running havoc. Like that's such a fucking a real thing. Um, yeah, person who's had anxiety attacks and who's constantly living with anxiety. Is interesting how they made anxiety like not a bad thing because looking out for dangers can be helpful, but when it's literally the thing in front taking control, it's can be dangerous. So yeah,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
have a lot to say about it, but I mean, yeah, nothing more that I can say that like a psychologist wouldn't. I think
Okay.
it's very well done. Is
Mm.
my perspective.
No, I was pleasantly surprised with this. I went into this going, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, I actually quite enjoyed it. I did have one major problem.
Which
Do,
is
do you know what? Do you know what it's going to be?
um not enough dragons.
No. So she was at a hockey camp, and
Uh-huh.
the the head honcho and her offsiders said that when she was like the best player ever, she scored twice on her scrimmage game. I
Yep.
wanted I wanted to see the game. I wanted to see her dominate.
Oh,
Like she's meant to be the greatest
not
hockey player.
about
Like
that.
I know, but if you're going to show me hockey and you're going to tell me
It's
that,
not a sport movie.
doesn't matter. You've
It's an
told me.
emotion movie.
You've told me. You've told me that they've scored 2 goals, and that was the first time a rookie has ever scored 2 goals. I want to see if she can beat that. Like it said that she wasn't ready, but she knew that she needed to go out there and she needed to impress the coach, and she was going to do anything that it took. You saw her take out her own friend. She got in the penalty box. What was she going to do? Did she score? How much did she dominate? Did she make the team? I wanted to know these things. I needed to
Well,
see it.
you're pretty
No,
sure she did because her last she got
no,
the little message and she smiled in the mirror. So you're pretty confident that she did.
but did she score 3? She scored 2.
Who cares?
I
It's a
care.
scrimmage.
I want to know. It doesn't matter. I want to be the best. I
Of
need
course you
to.
do.
I need
Of
to
course
know
you
this.
do. You need your fucking main character to be the best at everything so you can project yourself.
Even if they got 2, like if they equaled it,
They
let me
did.
know. Did you see her score?
Yes, we see her score the second. The second one is when she tackles her own teammate and shoots it in the top left of the net. She scores 2.
No,
The
but
second
is
light lights up.
is it a penalty though? Is it disqualified?
No,
No, but if
it
if
was
she,
2 goals. She scored 2 goals.
no, but if she got sent to the penalty box, that score doesn't count, mate.
No, the penalty box was after.
Mm.
The penalty box was when she tackled her friend when she was hunting for the third. Trust
Did
me, I
she
watched it half an hour ago.
did she get 3?
No, we don't know. She might have got 3. She
She
definitely
needs to
got
be the
2. We
best.
saw 2,
Oh, I need more hockey.
but we see right at the end when Joy takes over and she's experiencing joy while she's playing again. It's her, the goalie, and a friend on the side. And
I'm pretty sure she
I
passed.
assumed that she passed, yeah, but you know,
Go for glory,
doesn't
girl.
matter. It's not
Go for
about
glory.
that. Of
Glory.
course you would.
Go for glory, girl.
This is the dragon argument all over again.
I
Doesn't
wanted, I
matter.
want, I wanted more hockey.
Oh, okay.
Make
Go
it
watch
to it.
Mighty Ducks. Again, there's movies out there to serve the purpose that you want. Go watch Mighty Ducks. Go watch Aragon. Go watch How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, but I want to see the internal. I want to see like
I want to see
glory
how
and
they
and,
do it.
and pride. Where
There's
where are
so
those?
many. Go watch Miracle on Ice. There's so many fucking movies. Nah, it didn't matter.
I
But
disagree.
okay, sure, that's fine. You're allowed to.
Yeah, it's about her experiencing a hockey camp. Her dream is to be a hockey player.
Hmm.
Mm,
Yeah, it's
mm.
about and again, it's about Joy's journey as well. Joy's our main character, really, as much as it's about Riley. It's kind of like Andy and Woody, I suppose. Like the story is the main character is Woody, but it's about Andy. Um, so yeah, like Joy learns in this one. She learns in the first one that all emotions are important. In this one, she learns that all memories are important and that she shouldn't just be pushing things into the back of her mind. Um, which I think is a special thing as well, because you know, we do try and forget things, and anxiety especially can make us, not that they do this in the show, but anxiety especially can make us like want to forget certain things, or focus on the positive. But those all those things make up who we are. So
Yeah.
I really liked it. I think that the messages in this one are stronger. Maybe it's because this one had more of a mature mindset. Like the first one to me was aimed very much at kids, whereas this one feels a bit more mature because it's about like, it's about being anxious and going through puberty and experiencing envy and all sort of stuff. Like these aren't things that young children experience. These are more mature. So
Yeah.
I actually liked it more. I think that there's a lot more to like in this version from my perspective anyway.
Okay. What'd you give it?
I'm at a 4.
Okay. Mm,
I Yeah, I wasn't excited to watch it like you said, but I think it's really, really good.
yep.
It's
I re- oh, mm,
no, you're fine. I was gonna say it's really recommendable to a lot of people, I think.
yeah. I originally had it at 4.5. Like I really enjoyed it,
Oh
but
wow.
I took half a star because of less. I needed
I
more
didn't know
hockey.
if they got 3.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I need to
Uh,
know these things.
gosh.
I need to know. So
I like the
yeah,
little details. I can't just really think more things. I really liked how when they first go down to the um sense of self, the identity, sense of identity, a little down in the chamber with the strings going up.
yeah,
When they pluck certain strings, like I'm a good person, we hear layers of voices because it wouldn't be one moment in Riley's life where she decides she's a good person. It's like it's young self, her different ages of her make up that memory, make up that identity. So I really like little things like that. Like I think there's a lot of care in this. I read that one of like they got a psychologist to come and actually talk through like anxiety attacks and what anxiety feels like and how anxiety can help, and like I think there's a lot of things about this that are really fucking good. And they do a really good job, and I'm really excited to actually like this
mm,
because I could have fucking hated it.
yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. So
Good.
if you're on the fence about seeing it, go see it. Go see it.
Go see it. I think if you have anxiety or if you have anyone in your life, if you're a fucking mum or a dad with a daughter or a son with anxiety, I think it's a really fucking good way of looking at it. At the
Okay.
end, how anxiety like they get a little special seat because it's not about telling anxiety to stop. It's about like keeping anxiety realistic. Like, can we control these things right now? No, we can't. So let's worry about things we can control. What things can we control? We have a test tomorrow. Okay, let's study for that. Like anxiety can help us, but it's also dangerous if it takes the helm. I'm repeating myself. Fucking good. It's a good movie.
Mm, mm. Well then, let's move into our next one, which is a Netflix special, which is called Trigger Warning. So, trigger
Yep,
warning. This
it's a
is
movie.
it's something. So,
Good movie.
Jessica Alba is thrown into the Jennifer Lopez treatment, where they've gone, we want a attractive female to be an action star in the newest Netflix film,
Why?
because
What? Like what?
I'm sure it's going to do well.
I didn't like what's she done. She's in Sin City. Just pretty okay in Sin City. She's in Machete, which
Yep.
is garbage, but it's funny. And Fantastic Four.
Hmm.
That's like what else she done that's action?
I don't think much. I think that would probably be the extent of it.
I haven't seen a lot of this. Dubai presents 5-star mission. That sounds like an action film, but
Oh, the
she had no
mechanic.
fucking idea how to action. Like she's she didn't throw a punch. Like I'm not a fucking expert, but like she couldn't throw a punch. We're watching her do these fucking cool knife tricks, but she doesn't know how to fucking use a knife. Like the whole machete scene where she's in the sunset, fucking laughable. It
That
looks like
was
a person
that
who's held
was
a knife for the first time in their life.
That was the most insane thing I've ever seen.
Ridiculous. That was like I wrote in my notes like ha 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 ha. Like what the fuck? That fucking silhouette. Her just turns around and she goes, I like it. What the fuck? This movie's garbage. Anyway, get into it, my bad.
No, no, just context. Like this is the all of a sudden where you know the third act climax coming because you've gone, all right, with your standard action, we've found out who it is, we've gone through it, we've been beat up, and now we've got to go for the final confrontation. So they've got
Yeah.
these weapons. Instead of picking the guns and everything that like she's meant to be this trained green beret or whatever, like her father was a green beret, she was following in his footsteps into the army. She's meant to be like special ops kind of deal. They drop them in, they deal with it. And then instead of picking a gun, seeing like a reload or like a shooting montage, you get her. She picks a machete. Of all the weapons,
I
like
know.
I wouldn't think military is like machete training. Like
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
you have knife training, but you don't
No.
specialize in
There's a
machete.
line early where someone says to her, well, right at the beginning when she's in that fucking mission in the desert, someone says to her, you can't solve everything with a knife. You're like, oh, okay, she's gonna solve everything with a knife, and she fucking does. Come on, dude. Like hot garbage.
Oh, so and then you get this like 20-second clip silhouette of her standing there swinging this machete around, and
Yeah,
then it stops and you get I like it, and then
I
it
like it.
cuts.
Yeah, I think this really badass scene. Like they did it. Yeah, it's this whole thing is they think they're making the coolest fucking movie. It reminds me so much of The Mother. Look, all The Mother,
I
the
actually
Jennifer
like the
Lopez
mother
one.
better than this one.
Uh, The Mother was funnier than this. Like I had a
Yeah.
lot of moments in that where I was pissing myself. This was mostly boring. But even plot wise, like there's a moment where she gets fucked up in The Mother, and then she has to like recover and then learn and get better. And same in this. She gets fucked up. She wakes up in like some fucking weed den in someone's basement or some shit.
Also, how's this
She
town
gets
all or everyone in this town is involved in like drug smuggling or
I
arms
know.
dealing?
Or arms, yeah, literally. It's insane. This whole fucking movie.
Oh,
Have
so
you even
this
said the synopsis yet?
no,
No,
it
I
just got
probably
stuck on
should.
there.
Sorry.
So trigger warning is a devoted daughter is attempting to figure out the cause of her father's passing. So our opening scene is this drop into them taking on these. We assume they're not terrorists or like the enemy. It's never explained who they are. They're on a mission. They get dropped in. They deal with it. You get this little action scene inside of this like truck, and then you see, oh, it's Jessica Alba. I was like, okay, you tried to do a really cool intro, but
They really tried, yeah.
the fight scene sucked. Like it was slow. It wasn't crisp.
And
It
where
wasn't
was
like
she
fluid.
hiding?
I don't
She's in the
know.
middle of the fucking desert and they're like, oh, we can't find her. And then she shows up. Like, where the fuck was she?
They got camo on, mate. They got
She's
desert camo
invisible.
on. Yeah, can't see me.
Fucking John Cena.
John Cena trained her.
Yeah.
So, like, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, my father's passed away. I have to go back to the town. So she just ups and leaves, which is fair, like if you have a passing, but she just ups
But
and
for how
leaves.
long for?
And then
Like,
I,
sorry, keep
I don't
going.
know. It's literally just cuts to like her back there at the funeral, and then all of a sudden it's like her dealing with the bar, interacting with people that she hadn't seen for a while.
Hmm.
And it's really long where nothing really happens besides
It's
her like just interacting with people that she used to know.
it is very long. It
Like,
drags hard. Like an hour in, I watched this in two stints, and I mainly watch movies in a single stint. And this was like I thought I was getting pretty close to finishing, and it was like 55 minutes. What is happening? This is long. Like
also the names of characters. So our
Elvis.
our bad guy that's like he's a knob. His name is
Oh
Elvis.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I
It-
swear it was just because there's a line where Elvis comes in looking for Jessica Alba and they see some blood trails and they're like, oh, she's not here. Okay, she's not here. And they leave. And then I think Jesse says, Elvis has left the building. I'm like, fuck you. That is garb. Come
Mm.
on. What? Oh my God. That's the only reason I had Elvis in here was so they could say Elvis has left the building. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
I don't know. There's also Spider and there's also Ghost.
Spider,
And then there's
Ezekiel.
Mickey, Frank, Beck, Adam.
Yeah, there was Mike and Mickey, which I'm like, don't fucking. They're all generic as fucking name. Like, besides Elvis, Ezekiel, and Spider and Ghost, then you've got Jesse, Harry, Mike, Mikey, Beck. Like they're either the most ridiculous, outlandish names that a 5-year-old thought of for the D&D character, or they are Steve down the street.
Like it was bizarre. I also don't know the size of this town. Like the size of the town was never like really
No,
explained. It was like we're just going back. Here's a bar. Somehow they've got a jail cell. They've got their own cop division, and they're big enough that they have an arms manufacturing plant or something there
yeah,
that
which
they're able.
means like if there's a whole town built on like if there's some sort of fucking military whatever in a town, that usually makes that town like 30,000 people plus. But this town, like everyone's in everyone's business. This bar, I think, is meant to be the only bar in town or some shit. And it feels like a fucking shack that someone's thrown up in the middle of the apocalypse.
Yeah,
And then
which
it gets burnt down, they rebuild it, and it still looks like a fucking burnt down shack.
that fight scene where the bloke was just throwing like Molotov cocktails. I was like, how have you premeditated this? Like, are they all lined up to
Yeah,
to
sort of
light?
row
Like
of cocktails.
there was points where he was just grabbing them off the shelf and he was then pegging them, and they were just
Yeah,
exploding and lighting on fire. I was like,
yeah.
this doesn't make sense. Also, the fire looked terrible. So when they're fighting up on the balcony and then he
Oh,
falls
and they
down,
fall. Oh my
oh,
God. I know. That was the moment I write down my list. Like, this is bad CG.
it's,
Like, it looked, yeah, I can't even, it
it
was
was
real not
like
good. Don't do CG if you're not going to pay for good CG.
they're
It's
like
fucking,
let's turn everything orange and then have a man fall down. It
but
was
this, even the practical stuff looks shit. Like, the scenes in the cave look like a fucking high school play set. Like, the cave rocks and everything on the wall and shit looked like absolute crap. And
oh
like, there's a scene where they're picking up, rubble and like they're just throwing it over their shoulder. Like they're not even pretending that these rocks are fucking heavy. Come on, did no one give a shit?
no, no, they didn't.
No, no one gave a shit.
Even the reveal where it was like there was this whole back and forth of like, oh, my father wouldn't do it.
Hmm.
He was a trained army man. Why would he
Hmm.
do it? What's this note that he's left? Blah 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 blah. And then it's
Yep,
like,
yep,
oh, he pulled the pin so that they couldn't get out. They couldn't do it.
yep.
So, oh, God, you serious? And
Yeah,
like
he wanted to be cool as shit.
every cop is bad in this. Like every single one.
Bad how?
Oh, like
Like bad at their job or corrupt?
ev- both, both. Everyone's
Both.
bad at the job. It doesn't
Jesse's bad at
matter.
his job, yeah.
Like
Jesse's
all of
not
them.
handsome enough either. Like I can't see him as anything but the singer from Scott Pilgrim versus the World,
All right.
Mark Webber.
Yeah.
Like he's not handsome enough for Jessica Alba. I don't understand why he was a love interest, but
No, because they were childhood friends and they knew
yeah,
each
but
other.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
And they've been through things.
I feel like
In,
this if this was made in the 90s, like picture the same sort of time as like Terminator 2. Like this would have been kind of cool.
mm.
People would be talking about it, but it's just it's the same as everything else right now.
No, but it's not even done well. That's the problem.
I just love this shit though. I can't separate this from like I don't know what else we watched recently. It's been hot garbage action crap.
Well, we
Like
watch
this is
Atlas.
yeah, it's the same.
I enjoyed Atlas more though.
Again, this was not funny enough to be enjoyable. Whereas Atlas and the Mother, you watch that with some drinks and some friends, it's fucking hilarious. This
No,
is very boring.
Atlas was self-aware. This was not self-aware. This was like, we are making an action film. We're going to make you an action star.
I don't think Atlas was self-aware. I think Atlas was trying to be cool.
I thought Atlas was very self-aware.
Right. No, that's not how I saw it. I thought it
Uh,
was trying to be cool as hell like this.
uh, well, for whatever reason, Atlas was way better.
It's funnier because
Yeah.
it's Jennifer Lopez in front of a green screen getting rocked around and trying to form this relationship with a robot, whereas this is just a woman running with a knife with terrible CG
Mm,
for the majority of the movie. One thing I will give it, at least the terrorists weren't Middle Eastern. We saw at the end, they were like white men. Like, okay,
true.
that's
True.
something.
Full House. Yeah.
And
It
when
was
she walks in and saves this guy, I think his name's Ghost, I forget, some black guy. She walks in and saves this guy, and she's like, she says, "What's up, damsel in distress?" Like, you need to point out the fucking gender reversal here.
yes.
We're not fucking dumb. Come on.
Oh, well,
Uh,
if you like this, what the IMB
IMDb.
DB is recommending is Under Paris.
Yep,
Yep. Atlas,
fair, fair.
Inheritance. I don't know what that is. The Girl in the
Yep,
Trunk,
no idea what that is.
The Bricklayer,
Right,
Hitman.
Hitman's good. I
Yeah.
don't think you compare this and Hitman.
Rose's War,
No idea.
Madam Web.
Garbage. Yep, also
Yep.
hot garbage.
Yep. That's about it.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, someone's
Yeah,
review. First J-Lo, now Jessica Alba too.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I can't believe how much it is reminiscent of the bad Jennifer Lopez movies we're seeing.
It's wild.
And I don't hate Jessica Alba. She was a big early mover for like feminism in movies and how she was told in the making of Fantastic Four that she needs to act prettier when she was trying to be like more gritty. And she stood up to it and she's like, no, that's bullshit.
Fantastic
Um,
Four is not gritty.
Yeah, but she was trying to be more like she was at one point when she was like crying in pain, and someone said to her she needs to act prettier when
How
she's
do you
in
act?
pain. She's like, my character's in fucking pain. Like, why does it matter how pretty I am?
Yeah, that's weird. But also that's a
Yeah.
garbage film. That's
Oh, it's horrible. But again, it's funny horrible. This is just really boring, and that's
mm,
worse. We know that.
mhm. Yes,
Um,
it was hard watch.
yeah, I'm out of things to say. This is not good.
No.
Oh, and hold on, really quickly. Why at the end did the man blow up with a grenade? Like he was holding the grenade in his hand, and he's like, "Well, he just lets go let's drops the grenade on the ground and explodes." Could he not throw the grenade?
No,
What grenades are built for?
he knew he was done though. He knew he was toast, like he was in trouble. And then he was just like, oh well, done.
But-
Yeah,
I
I'm
I
aware.
get it, but like they made it. I don't know. They didn't make it out to be like a fucking suicide thing. I don't know. It was a really funny scene watching him just drop this grenade in front of him with this like, well, what are you gonna do? Sort of dumb face.
Yep.
Like, anyway,
It
this
was
this movie was fucking boring.
it was so bad. Like
We point out all the funny moments.
yep. It's worth it for 20 seconds and watching this random as machete
Yeah,
montage hill
yeah, that's
scene.
fucking hilarious. I wrote my review on Letterboxd that it's not funny enough to watch, but if a YouTuber you like makes like a review of this, it's gonna be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like if you got all the best bits of this and chopped it up into a little YouTube video, it's pretty funny. But
Yeah.
it's not good enough to watch. And it's fucking for an hour and 46 minutes, which isn't a crazy long amount of time to watch a movie. This felt like fucking 5 hours. This was bad.
Yeah. What'd you give it then?
One or a half, or probably less. It's so bad. It's not so bad, it's good. It's just so bad.
Yeah. I'm on the same boat. I'm in the one. It was
Yep.
real bad. Real bad. It sucked.
Oh
Oh
yes.
well. It's
You know
two out
what?
of
Zero. Fuck you.
okay.
No,
No.
point 0.5, because I guess I have stuff to talk about. It makes me laugh at times, but it's really dumb. Really
Okay.
dumb.
Well, obviously, next week we have House of the Dragon, episode 3. Hopefully, we get some more dragons. And then we've got Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. Be-
Yep.
Eddie,
That's
Eddie
a title.
that's the title.
Sure is.
Eddie Murphy is coming back to play his role in Beverly Hills Cop. I
Uh-huh.
watched him many years ago. I have no idea
I
anymore.
remember nothing. Yeah, I
No.
don't remember anything I watched in it, to be honest.
I'm assuming that's his name. I can't remember.
His name is Beverly,
Uh,
last name Hill.
I thought his last name was like Axel. Well, his first name's Axel. I don't
Fucking, I don't know. I'm sure
know.
it's not Beverly.
Might be. And then we've got The Mole season two, which was
Hell
massive
yeah.
in 2000s for us.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
watched season one of them all and it's fucking awesome. Like I really, really enjoyed watching it. I was yelling at my TV and shit, so I'm excited for the
Is
mole
that
season two. It's
Australian
my
TV?
pick. No, American.
It was
Oh no,
Australian?
there was back then. It was this mole was American,
Yeah.
but there was an Australian mole back in the 2004ish. I want to say.
Yeah. I reckon there was our radio station also did what was The Fugitive, which was
Oh
um
really?
yeah. I think SAFM did the Fugitive, and it had a TV show that ran with it.
You're
It
right.
was where these people had to go out, and they were like on the run, so like people would then dob them in. So
On the
the
radio.
I was like the radio like funded it and produced it and all the stuff, but it then was on TV. And I remember one scene because it was pretty funny. Their car had broken down and they had to get people on the street to help push them. And like if people
Okay.
recognized them and they were like, "Hey, you're on The Fugitive," they'd be busted, and the
Right.
people that caught them would actually get like a little bit of a kickback of something. It was like a radio
Okay.
prize,
Yeah, yeah, like
and they
t-shirt
were
or some
like,
shit.
yeah, and like as the public were trying to help push them, they had to keep putting on the handbrake. So it's like they'd push it and then they'd slowly increase the handbrake so they'll go nowhere. And then these people would be like, "Are you putting on the handbrake?" And they're like, "No, no, 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 no." And they're like, "I'll push for a bit." And then they'd swap it around and they'd keep doing it.
Oh
It
shit.
was pretty funny. Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get Kane. Mole
Yeah.
2.
All right.
Be sick.
Easy. Easy. So you know what to do if you're on Spotify, leave us a 5-star rating. You're on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you want us to watch anything, let us know. And
Yeah.
tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Love yous.